Back in January 2023, my wife and I got the opportunity to fly out to Cedar City, Utah. And Cedar City is a town in southern Utah, and it has about 50,000 people in it. And quite honestly, we had no idea why we were flying out there. Pastor Lane decided to partner with Pastor Pete of True Life Center and fly us out, see the land, just kind of see what was going on down there. And just through observing, taking multiple days, we traveled around Zion National Park, we traveled around the city, we traveled around the college, which is Southern Utah University. We traveled around everywhere. And quite honestly, still did not know why we were there. And then one day, Pastor Pete took us into his office and he showed us this map. And on the map, there were 30 pinpoints. And he said, James, every single one of these pinpoints are towns that have zero evangelical churches in them. And he looked at me and he said, that's why we're here. We're here because we want to spread the gospel to all 30 of these towns that do not have access to the gospel. And so in that moment, my wife and I knew we have to come and do something here. And they asked us, they told us, we don't need your money, we don't need your resources, we just need people to come and pray over our town and share the gospel. And so we got the opportunity last year to take an exploratory team to just do that, pray over the land and ask people to give Jesus a chance by sharing the gospel, witnessing to others, praying over others. And our first year there, we got to share the gospel with 200 people, and we got to see students come out of their comfort zones. We got to see them pray over other people. We got to see them just really open up in a new way that I was not expecting. I also, as a pastor on this trip, as the one leading the trip, I really put God in a box, and I think my pride got in the way. I decided I'm the one that's leading, I'm the one who's making the plans, and if it didn't go my way, I didn't want it to go any other way. And so God really broke my heart for what breaks his. And that's a prayer we have all the kids pray. Every year, every day, we want them to pray that prayer. God, would you break our heart for what breaks yours? And so going into this year, had a lot of expectations about how we wanted this trip to go. We wanted it to be exactly like last year. However, that's exactly what I did the year before, putting God in a box. From April 2024 till when we left on the trip in March of 2025, I just did a bunch of researching. I did as much work as I could possibly do to see, Lord, what do you want for us for this trip? And it blew my mind to constantly see this constant theme of him just saying, cry out to me, cry out. And then you see in Luke chapter 19 where the Pharisees are interacting with Jesus in his triumphal entry, and his disciples are worshiping him. And the Pharisees say to Jesus, you need to rebuke your disciples. And he says, I tell you, if they were to keep silent, the stones would cry out. Pastor Pete kind of shared this line with me a couple years ago, and I'm like, that's kind of funny, Pastor Pete. He was like, look at the Utah rocks, they are crying out. And I'm sitting there like, okay, great. But then you go to Utah and you see the rocks crying out because a lot of people are not crying out. And so that's what we came in this year with. The only expectation we can have on ourselves is we can cry out. We can cry out holy to the Lord. And as we did that, we surrendered our pride, we surrendered our expectations, and we just asked the Lord to break our heart for what breaks his. And this year we got to evangelize to 400 people. We got to help out at the food pantry, which is the largest food pantry in all of southern Utah that feeds 1,600 people plus a week. We got to partner with True Life Center and Red Hills Church of Southern Utah. We got to host a Nerf night. We got to do so many different things there. And simply was just partnering with these other churches and crying out. And now I see students want to come back on mission here in Newberg, Oregon. They want to see heaven come to earth in their own city. And it's simply just doing the things that we did there. If they can go rest and pray on top of a mountain, they can go find a hilltop here and do the same. If they can pray in silence and solitude, they can do that every morning when they wake up. If they can read and memorize scripture there, they can read and memorize scripture here. The list goes on and on of ways that God is continually showing up for these students, and he's continually showing up in Cedar City as well. And so as we continue to pray for these churches, and as we continue to pray for our students and see the faithful work that God is doing, it is cool to partner with him as he intercedes for us, and we intercede on behalf of all these people so that they would come to know Jesus.